So today we're at Sun Lake State Park. It took us all day to get here yesterday from Glacier National Park, and it's an extremely different area from where we just came from. We are staying at the State Park Campground, which is in the basin of what was once a gigantic waterfall system caused by glacial melt. It is now completely dry and is part of the Dry Falls State Park system. We're gonna go hike the state park tomorrow, but the reason we stopped here, besides it being a good place between 2 points that we're visiting, is that Jim wanted to visit the Grand Cooley Dam. So that's what we're doing today. We're gonna go see the Grand Cooley Dam, look at the visitor center, look at the dam. James is feeling a little under the weather today. Nothing serious, just kind of a snuffly nose. So he's gonna stay in the camper for the day. He's old enough, we trust him, he has our phone numbers. But it's just miserable to be sick in this kind of heat. We spent the first part of our trip in unseasonably cold weather, wearing winter coats and hats, and it hardly reaching higher than 70 degrees. And now, today, the predicted temperature for this area is 103 to 105 degrees. Bridges and dams, and so this is like his Disney World. This and the Hoover Dam, which we'll see later in the summer.
It says there's 12 million cubic yards in this thing, which is enough to build a 4-foot sidewalk that goes around the equator twice.
Wow.
Grand Cooley Dam is the largest hydro-powered producer in the United States, generating more than 2 billion kilowatt hours of electricity each year to 11 states.
You see these lines?
Yeah.
Those are the transmission lines from that power plant. And then you see these come up. Those are from this power plant side.
Okay.
And the one feeds one set of towers, the other one feeds the other set. The other plant, that one by itself has 3 sets coming out of it.
Oh my goodness.
So I'll bet you that that's a much higher producing side. That third new side they put in the 70s.
This is a cubic yard, and so there are 12 million of those in concrete.
That's big.
Model of the... Okay, so we have signed up to do the tour of the Grand Cooley Dam, but I'm sure there are no pictures or video allowed, so I'll just have to tell you about it after we're done. Surprisingly, we were allowed to take photo and video as long as we didn't record any of the safety measures or procedures. Our tour started with an inside look at the generators in the dam. We were then driven to the top of the dam to look down both sides. Visitors used to be able to drive freely over the dam until the September 11th attacks forced dam officials to tighten security. From the top of the dam, you can look out over Roosevelt Lake, the world's largest man-made lake. It would be.
It was so damn good.
I was surprised it was free.
I was?
But I don't know why. But it was free, and it's on a first come first served basis. And I also can't believe we were allowed to take picture and video, just not of any of the security measures. So that was pretty fun. Harper was really hot. She's spraying herself with her bottle.
How was the dam tour, Harper?
We're not turning off the air to make this video because it's 107 degrees here at the Grand Cooley Dam. Okay, there are 2 things we really wanted to do in this area. The first one was the Grand Cooley Dam, which we did yesterday. And then today we're going to go check out the Dry Falls because we're at the Sun Lake Dry Falls State Park. So if we just go north, we're in the Dry Falls section. We're going to learn about how the dry falls were formed through glacial melt and probably just walk around the area, check out the visitor center, that kind of thing. It's cooler today than it was yesterday, but by cooler that means it's in the upper 90s, not 107. But it's really windy today, so hopefully that will help keep some of the heat at bay. Our first stop was the Visitor Center, where we learned more about the forming of the falls during the Ice Age. The falls formed when an ice dam that was holding back a glacial lake burst, allowing huge amounts of water to pour rapidly into the area below, washing away the soft sediment. As the ice dam would break and refreeze, this happened multiple times. Each time, the falls formed by the flowing water would have been several times the size of Niagara Falls. Outside the Visitor Center is a viewing platform where you can look down upon the Dry Falls. You can also drive into the basin where the remaining ponds can be used for kayaking and fishing. This road down here is pretty rough. These lakes that are still here are fed by groundwater. They were likely the plunge point, which is where the waterfall falls and washes away the deepest amount of sediment, and so they are deep enough to be filled with groundwater. When the falls first formed, they were actually 20 miles upstream, and then each time they eroded further and further until they came down to this spot. After spending the morning in the heat of the Dry Falls, we spent the rest of the day relaxing in the Sun Lake. Okay, so it's moving day again. We're leaving Sun Lake State Park in the Dry Falls area, and we are moving to Cowlitz Falls, which will be our home base for exploring Mount Rainier and Mount St. Helens. I don't know how hot it's going to be where we're going next, but I'd be surprised if it's hotter than this.
I just reminded you of home.
I'm having a super fun time with this campsite, well, campground and all, because it's super like home, and it's big and foresty, and we just got to do a lot of stuff we normally do at home, and I'm really happy that we got to do that.
So, how long is it going to take us to get to Mount St. Helens?
Well, to the mountain or to the...
To the visitor center.
Which one?
The main one?
Well, I don't know. It's interesting. But the one you picked is like an hour and a half.
Okay, the one I picked.
Yeah,
I thought that was the main center.
There's all kinds of centers.
Oh. All right, we're in the town of Winlock, and Jim took us on a detour, and he didn't tell me what we're going to see. We are here to see the world's largest egg. It was donated by the Winlock Lioness Club. You never know what you're gonna find on the road. In the visitor center, we learned more about the eruption of Mount St. Helens, how it affected the mountain, and the effect it had on the area around it.
And to ask questions about the natural world around you.
So I was fully aware of the eruption of Mount St. Helens, but that was very interesting. I learned a lot more about it. What did you think, Harper?
Rocks!
I wish that I could get as excited about anything as Jim does about bridges. So this says we're on the edge of the blast zone. Okay, so the other visitor center was run by Washington State. This one is run by the National Forest Service. The Forest Service Visitor Center gave us the closest view we could get to the mountain without hiking to it. So you guys got your second junior ranger badge from this park. Nice.
What if we collect like 5?
That'd be great. So Jim had really wanted to go see the Johnson Observatory because it's the closest viewpoint to the mountain and it's a straight shot to look at the crater formed by the eruption. But last year there was a landslide on this route and you can't get there right now. They haven't fixed it yet. So we aren't going to get to see that, but we did get some really good views of the mountain. So now we're in the Forestry Center, which focuses on sustaining the forests around Mount St. Helens. Yeah.
Hello, trees. Hello, dude up there.
Controls. The stick in front of you is called the cyclic. It controls the direction that we go.
The wildflowers here this time of year are incredible. It's worth coming here just to look at the flowers. Okay, it's 5:25 in the morning and we are heading out because we don't have a pass to drive the Paradise Corridor at Mount Rainier, so we have to get in the park before 7.
Looks like we're gonna have to open the gate.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god. I'm glad that's on video.
So today and tomorrow we're spending exploring Mount Rainier. We kind of messed up when we got our passes like 6 months ago when they were first available. We wanted to get a pass for the Sunrise Corridor and for the Paradise Corridor. And we did, but we accidentally got one for tomorrow and one for the day we're leaving. So because we are leaving on the day we had the Paradise Corridor pass, we are now up at 5:42, headed to get into the park before the pass times apply because we don't have one. And then tomorrow we do have a pass to do the Sunrise Corridor. So our plan for the Paradise Corridor day is probably to hike the Skyline Loop, which is, I read, if you're gonna do one hike, the hike that you should do. And then there are other places we can stop, like we can look at the Reflective Lake, and there's some waterfall hikes that are really short. But our main objective is to hike the Skyline Loop, which I hear is still covered in snow, but not any more than the Hidden Lake trail we did at Glacier, so I think we should be fine. We're in! We made it! Guys, we're up and up.
Hello.
Hello, Rainier. All right, the park hasn't even officially opened yet, and the parking lot for the visitor center is full. Okay, here we go. Look how pretty it is. I told Harper that a good job on this hike might be stuffed banana slug worthy, and now she's leading the pack. Like, look how beautiful it is. Like in every direction. Look how beautiful it is. Look how beautiful it is. So we're on Mount Rainier, and that's Mount Adams, and that's Mount St. Helens. I mean, I'll be honest, like, I thought that Tetons was the most beautiful place I've ever been, but this is a rival, not gonna lie. Hello, friend. You're banana slugging it. Yeah, the snow's covered the trail, so just be careful. Can you imagine being here when you actually need these orange poles to like find the trail? Alright, so besides a little bit at the end, the rest is all downhill. Alright, so you can do this trail clockwise or counterclockwise. We did it clockwise, and I would highly recommend doing it clockwise because the views are just incredible. You're like staring at Mount Rainier the whole time. It is a steeper incline, but you're hiking the same altitude either way, and you get the high part or the upward part over faster. Your butt is gonna be cold.
Hey, keep your legs up, keep your legs up.
One more up. Nope, there's the building. We made it, Harper. You did it. You did it.
Look at my chin.
Oh my goodness. Hey, guess what? Banana slugs for everybody.
Yay!
What do you think of that hike, Harper?
I really liked it because the beginning was really nice, and it was a good hike. Just the end part was kind of a struggle, but we saw goats, so I mean it's good.
As usual, we had to check out the lodge and grab some well-earned lunch.
So we promised James and Harper that they did a good job on that very strenuous hike, that they would get banana slugs. And so here they are with their banana slugs. The parking lot is packed.
After lunch, we went inside the visitor center.
Stop looking at the people.
Cute. Okay, James, your turn.
All right, but be accurate. Go ahead. That was funny.
Was that accurate?
That was really good.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. So I'm sure there are more cool things to see on the Paradise Corridor, but we're tired. We're tired, so we did our hike, we saw the reflective lake, we enjoyed the inn, we had a yummy lunch, and then we went to the visitor center, we got our stamps. I think that is a full enough day for people who got up at 4:30 this morning. So this morning we do have passes to the Sunrise Corridor portion of Mount Rainier. So we could take a little bit more time this morning getting ready, and we'll get into the park sometime between 9 and 11 because that's when our reservation is for. Today's our last day at this campsite, and I'm a little sad because this has been my favorite campsite so far. So this visitor center and parking lot is way less crazy than the Paradise was yesterday. And what does it show you? We're walking to see the Emmons Glacier, which is visible from this side of the mountain and is the largest glacier in the United States except for those in Alaska. This is a lot of downhill, James. Do you know what that means? So like from here to the top of the mountain, that's the glacier.
There are a lot of flowers everywhere, and it doesn't really help that about my allergies, but they're all really pretty and really nice. So James found some hummus.
Ooh, hummus would be...
So what's the plan?
I think we might just go back. So the Sunrise Visitor Center is much smaller than the one at Paradise, and the day lodge here is really just a gift shop with a snack bar. This is a great spot if you're gonna hike. There's lots of trailheads that leave from this parking lot, but Jim's having some trouble breathing today, so we're not gonna do another hike, and so I think we're just gonna be done for the day.